Hi guys, this is Ashley back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on post notifications. So Nicki Minaj puts out the remix to FTCU with SÉXÍRÄDD, C Breezy the colorist, and TRÄVÍŠ. Okay? Now, initially when I saw the features that were gonna be on the remix, I was like, oh Lord, TRÄVÍŠ is gonna ruin the remix, okay? But after listening to it, I'm gonna have to say he did okay. He did okay. Wasn't great, to be honest with you. I'm be honest with you, SÉXÍRÄDD, in my opinion, ate everybody up. SÉXÍRÄDD's verse was fire. Then it was, the Beige Beater, Chris Breezy the colorist, and then it was, the festival killer. He was last, in my opinion, when we're talking about verses. And, I'm being honest with you. I don't feel like the record needed autotune. I'm like, why autotune man got to use autotune for every single thing? He used autotune for everything. I mean, goodness gracious, that's not talent to me if you can't go one song without using autotune. But overall, the FTCU remix was pretty good. I just don't think that, no shade, the festival killer should have been on there. Because I just don't feel like that type of record needs autotune, in my opinion. He got to use it for every damn thing. But Sexy and, Chris Breezy the colorist stayed it up. They did. I think Sexy, to me, her cadence and flow just fit the record. See, Breezy went hard. I didn't think he was going to be rapping. I thought he was going to sing on the record for whatever reason. I thought he was going to be singing. But he can rap if he really wanted to. And I kind of like how, Nicki was like in the middle of SÉXÍRÄDD's verse. They didn't really go back and forth. She only had like one line, Nicki Minaj. But I like how she like jumped in the middle of SÉXÍRÄDD's verse and then handed it back to SÉXÍRÄDD. I thought that was smooth, so I gotta give this remix an 8, okay? Now, Nicki Minaj extends her record as the female rapper with the most #1 songs in the U.S. iTunes history with 45. Okay, that's impressive, especially since the Chart Obsessed Racist just put out, a whole album, so that's really good. Now, with that being said, Champagne Thickums plays chess with Onika, okay? He cleared his name, when a lot of fans were speculating that he sabotaged Nicki Minaj when she went to Canada. When it came to her jet situation, he ended up making a few phone calls for Nicki Minaj, and she basically posted that on Instagram. Champagne Thickums also went to Nicki Minaj's sold out show in Toronto. She shouted him out. A lot of fans were saying that he was looking stressed. Well, obviously, he's going through a rap beef right now. So, of course, he's going to look stressed, and he may not necessarily want to be there, but he came out to support Nicki Minaj, okay? And my whole thing is, this was a chess move because he needs all the friends he can get. No shade because, Champagne Thickums is very wishy-washy, and he's, no shade, very fake to Nicki, in my opinion. But, I'm glad that he helped her. And like I said in my last video, that's when you use your connections. And she used her connections to get help in Canada. I said that in my last video. You got to use your connections for stuff like this. If somebody else got a jet, use their jet. Somebody would help Nicki. Not everybody's going to turn their back on her. And Champagne Thickums was able to do that. But if you want the hot tea of who's really sabotaging her, you got to go to the Patreon. The Patreon family already know the tea. But with that being said, this is his way of saying, listen, I'm loyal to you. No Kung Fu Kenny, Future, The Weeknd, Metro Boomin collaborations. You know what I'm saying? So this was his way of saying, listen, I'm loyal to you. I don't want you working with these other artists. Okay? Because the way Champagne Thickums move is, if she work with artists that, are dissing him and, calling him out. Oh, and Rick Ross. I don't think Nicki cares to work with Rick Ross either, but she probably won't be able to work with him. But the point of the matter is, then he gonna work with, the people that are dissing her. So it's twofold. Now, moving on to Doja Cat. Allegedly, Doja Cat is working on her 5th album. Okay? Let me know how y'all feel about that. I'm like, Doja Cat keep putting out music back to back. That's one thing about Doja Cat. She's very consistent. She don't take years and years to put out an album. And she definitely don't take 7 years to put out a second album like Botchin' Bitter. But allegedly, she is planning on dropping her next album next year, 2025. Let me know how y'all feel about that. In my opinion, I think she only should drop an album if she goes strictly back to the Planet Her era and sound. Because she still technically, does pop rap music. I mean, Agora Hills and The Town is Dead, she's singing. Even in the song Mask, she's singing in it. It's pop rap. But, her era in Scarlet was a little bit darker. And I think she got to go back to like the Planet Her type of era where it was just fun pop rap music. It wasn't demonic. She needs to do that. She also needs to apologize to Nicki Minaj so the Barbs can support her. That would be a smart move. Now, moving on to SÉXÍREDD and Botchin' Bitter. So, SÉXÍREDD outsells Botchin' Bitter yet again. Get It Sexy has now sold over 500,000 units in the U.S., her fastest song to achieve this as a lead artist. And unfortunately, none of Loose 2's 4 singles have went gold, and they all came out before SÉXÍREDD's single, which is very interesting. Even the one that went top 10. What was that one called? Dr. Miami? None of her songs went gold yet, okay? And even though Botchin' Bitter dropped in March, I think she dropped 4 singles in March, SÉXÍREDD dropped like after her, okay? Like a few weeks after her, and she going gold before you. That's embarrassing. Okay, to have Ice Spice and SÉXÍREDD outsell you is not good, especially when you get in a big push. Either further proving that I think Botchin' Bitter eventually, after the second album, she's going to be completely shelved. They not putting out a third album with Botchin' Bitter because Titanic Records is in the red. Fans want Scratch Off to hop on the Wannabe remix with the 2 alcoholics, Megan and Glowfish. Okay? Let me know how y'all feel about that. I'm gonna have to pass on that. I just don't think that song is really a hit. And I think that Glowfish and Megan are using each other. Is a fake friendship. They don't really mess with each other. And hanging around Megan Thee Stallion, you end up lost. People were saying that, anytime somebody get wrapped up around Megan Thee Stallion, something bad happens. It's called the Megan Thee Stallion curse. No shade. Botchin' Bitter started to fall off as soon as she got with Megan. Tory's in jail. The baby, he fell off. Devil Nation will soon be crumbling. 1501 went downhill. There's a lot of people going down because of Megan Thee Stallion. I'm just saying. Now, moving on to Queen B's rock era. Jack White posted a picture of a bee covered in pollen yesterday. And Queen Bee also has sent him some flowers earlier this month. He captioned the post that said Jack White 3. So a lot of fans are basically speculating that he will be on the rock album for Act 3. Let me know how y'all feel about that. I really don't want Queen Bee to go rock. Just like I really didn't want her to go country. The country album wasn't bad, but it wasn't my favorite, but it wasn't a bad album. I thought the album was pretty good for a Queen Bee album. And then on top of that, the chart obsessed racist Torture and Poets Department is the overwhelming favorite to win Album of the Year at the 2025 Scammys, according to Gold Derby. Nearly half the voters had predicted a win before the official release of the album, which has a lot of the Beehive upset, okay? And I'm going to get to my chart obsessed racist review, okay? But I feel like people just want the chart obsessed racist to win because they don't like Queen Bee. Because I feel like when we're talking about impact and how Queen Bee was able to execute this album, I don't really feel like the Chart Obsessed Racist deserves to win Album of the Year. I'm sorry. She win it all the time. I mean, can you give Queen Bee one Album of the Year? Like, honestly, if Queen Bee do not win this upcoming Scammy in 2025 Album of the Year, she should boycott. Honestly, she should. Because it'd just be a slap in the face. Now, Riri confirms what I said yesterday, my tea about most of her outfits being trash. Especially mostly her recent outfits. And she also said that her fashion sense has basically changed. She won't be posting nude anymore or showing her nipples. That's what she basically said. Take a listen.
A red carpet look you regret wearing?
Why would you put me on the spot like this? Ooh! Oh my god. It was something maybe close to this, which seems kind of ironic. But there was like a brown tan suit that we loved so much. The day we put it on, it was just like one of those days where you're like, it's giving UPS driver. It's gonna sound hypocritical, but because I did so much in my life. I had my nipples out, I had my panties out. But now those are the things, like, I guess as a mom and like an evolved young lady, young, emphasis on young. It's just things that I just feel like I would never do, or I'm just like, oh my God, I really did that? Nips out.
Okay, I told y'all she'd be looking a hot mess. Okay, she said that her worst fashion look is the outfit that she was basically wearing now. And to be honest, I think Riri's pregnant. She's pregnant, and that's why she out here looking like those brown lunch bags. Okay, she looked a mess. And also her tracks are showing. I was like, goodness gracious. Her hairstylist and stylist hate her. She must not be paying them enough because her tracks are also showing. I was like, oh my goodness, this is embarrassing. So moving on to Ice Spice. So Academics leaked Ice Spice Fisher remix. And she's getting a lot of praise for changing her sound. Let's take a listen.
For sure. Got an attitude, but I'm feeling lit, so I ain't mad at you. And I'm tired of two, and it's fatter too. I'm your baddest boo. And my ass fat, cause I eat my oats and my vegetables. Fat and it's creamy oats, it's like animals. I'm a baddie, so I know them other bitches ain't impressing you. And I've been a baddie since a younger nigga, this ain't nothing new. Why these niggas in my face? Oh, because I'm rich and my money blue.
Okay, so let me know how y'all feel about that. You know, that sounded pretty good. I ain't gonna front. But this does sound like Koi Fish. You know, it does sound like, Coi Leray. So I don't know if she can really, take Coi Leray's style, okay, and try to make it her own. Because she sound like Koi Fish to me on that record. Okay? Now, Koi Fish did take from Dej Loaf. But no shade, Dej Loaf is not really relevant right now. So, Ice Spice with the auto-tune, she could do big things. Now, fans are calling out Missy, the icon Missy Elliott, who is going on tour with Timberland, Busta Rhymes, I believe, and Ciara, because she unfortunately cannot sell out her arena tour even with 3 other acts. Here are the receipts. Fans have screen recorded that basically there are a lot of seats left. And I think pre-sales went out, I think it was last Friday. The pre-sales dropped and she don't have one sold out date so far, which is shocking. I'm like, Missy's an icon. Am I going to see her? Absolutely not. I can spend my money on better things. No shade of Missy. But I got a plan for Missy to get the tour sold out. What she needs to do is call up Nicki Minaj and ask Nicki to perform at the New York date. I think she got a New York date at Madison Square Garden or something like that. Nicki Minaj already sold that out. So I think Missy should apologize to, Nicki Minaj for being in the mumbling, cackling crew. You know what I'm saying? She was talking bad about Nicki in the group chats, which was revealed, a few years ago. And I think Nicki Minaj, the forgiving queen, she would definitely help Missy sell some tickets, especially the ones in New York. So I think that would be a great idea if she bring out Nicki Minaj for the Madison Square Garden date So that way she can sell out at least Madison Square Garden. It would be a good look. And, you know, unfortunately, Ciara and Busta Rhymes, they probably can stay at home. Because you clearly can't help sell no tickets. So there's no point of you coming out. Now, moving on to the chart obsessed racist, she dropped her album, which is called The Tortured Poets Department. Okay? And a lot of her fans are saying the album is about her ex-racist boyfriend, Matt Healy, who the chart obsessed racist used to date before she got with Travis Kelce. And you can tell this album is kind of personal. She's talking about, you know, that relationship, you know, the price of fame, having children, which is show maturity for the chart obsessed racist. So I got to give her 10s for that. But people also noticed that she was taking some shots at Kim Kardashian. I was like, still? She says, and thank you, Amy, I believe. Your kid comes home singing a song that only us two is going to know is about you. And allegedly, there's a video circulating around Northwest singing Shake It Off with Kim K. And I guess that song is about Kanye and Kim K. I was like, okay, that's weird. And then she also said, BF you and your ex-husband. So that's definitely a direct shot at Kim K. I'm like, you still beefing with the Kardashians, the chart obsessed racist, really? I mean, it's been years. It really has. Kanye hasn't really mentioned you, and neither has Kim K. But I guess you need, you know, the shock value. Everybody putting out diss records now, even the pop stars. Everybody want to diss somebody now because it brings shock value. Even the pop stars are now dissing. Cat Williams and Nicki Minaj done started something that they will not be able to control. I mean, like, goodness gracious. Now the pop stars writing diss records. I'm like, oh my goodness. 2024 is just too messy for me. We got to wrap all these beefs up by 2024 December. In December of 2024, these beefs got to end. I mean, it's just too messy for me. As for the chart obsessed racist album, it was okay. I'm not into her music like that. I don't like her singing. I don't get into the way she sings. That's just me. Okay? I don't feel anything when she sings, but I understand why people like the chart obsessed racist. For me, she's just a little bit boring. I'm never excited to listen to her music, but I do understand why people do listen to her. Now, it also has been announced that Nicki Minaj FTCU has been certified platinum in the U.S. Congratulations to Nicki Minaj. Not really shocked. This is a hit song, a hit record, and hopefully, you know, Nicki gets that top 10 with FTCU. Okay, it might be a little bit hard with the chart obsessed races, but I honestly think it was a really good remix. So let me know how y'all feel about it. I got some hot tea on Patreon, link will be in the description. Have a great day.